and welcome to the Wild Wild West podcast. My name is Richie Riche of the MHRT Network. Over that away, or that away, depending on which way the camera chooses to work today. You never know with StreamYard. Welcome to my life. Is DZ representing his Los Angeles Chargers. Now, we have a special show tonight. We are expecting one additional Raiders fan to join us as well. After all, this is Broncos week, where Broncos Raiders face off coming up. And so we're going to have a show for you. Let me tell you, it is not my first rodeo jumping into enemy territory and being the only Broncos fan against however many Raiders folks are on the panel. I would say that's a pretty common thing for me to do. We got T3, Mr. Tom Jones himself. Thank you for joining the show, sir. Always a pleasure when you join us here to provide your insight down directly that way or that way. Again, depending on cameras, we've already been through that spiel. Is Mr. Jack Henna representing his Las Vegas Raiders. And we are hoping to have a Nabman join us here on the show at some point as well to provide his insight into his Las Vegas Raiders as well. Love to have him join live if at all possible as well. So let's jump right into this here, ladies and gentlemen. We are going to go over to DZ's game first and talk about how his team did, what they did right, what they did wrong, and everything in between. DZ, take it away.
Well, it was another divisional battle. You know, it didn't matter record-wise between the Chargers and Raiders at halftime. I think it was tied 7-7.
7-7.
Yeah, it was looking like one of those games until it wasn't. I mean, the ending score was, quite different. It was 31-14. Stats for the quarterbacks were pretty damn even. Gino actually and Herbert, Gino threw for 165, 18 of 23, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception, and Justin 151, 15 out of 20, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception. But there's a caveat to that. He broke his hand, his non-throwing hand. What he broke, I wrote down. Where did I write it down? He broke his left ring finger metacarpal. He had surgery on it on Monday, and he is expecting to play Monday night against the Eagles, which has me baffled, to be honest with you. I'm quite baffled by it. It was a kind of a freak injury, like they seem to always be. But I think this is the second time he's broken a finger against the Raiders. I want to say 2 years ago he broke a finger on Max Crosby's face mask, and he broke this one. Jeremy Chin made a hell of a tackle. Justin was trying to scramble outside, juke, but couldn't juke, and Jeremy Chin just tackled him. But it was really weird. You slowed everything down, and you can't really tell where his hand got hit or whatever, but it got hit on the helmet, and it broke it. But I think he missed a series. He came back and he played okay. But going forward, we'll see. And I'm not a doctor. He was at practice today, but didn't practice. He seems in good spirits, and he's kind of used to this. He's a warrior. He's a tough SOB. So we shall see. But I'll get into my stats. I'll let Jack and Tom, if they want to do their Raiders stats of their players. I want to shout out Kamani Vidal. He had 11 missed tackles, 25 carries, 1 touchdown, 126 yards. He had a long 59-yarder. Yeah, I mean, this kid's
this kid's looking good, dude. I'm liking him.
Yeah, he's stepping up when the team is needing somebody to step up, especially them losing their first, second, and third string running backs. He's like, all right, no big deal. I'm just a kid from Troy. Lad, 4 recoveries, 1 touchdown, nothing special. Also want to salute Tuli Pelotu. I think he's ranks 8th in sacks in the league right now. Not too shabby. He had 2 sacks, 3 run stops, 1 batted pass, and 1 special teams tackle. So I hope they extend him like the Broncos extended some players earlier. I kind of hope they do that same thing with Thule and a couple other guys to keep them around before they hit free agency or get them while it's kind of cheaper. I also want to shout out our left tackle, Jamari Sawyer, who played left tackle. I think it was his first time this season. He's done it in, I believe, 22 when Slater went out. He was tied for first in the NFL in pass block win rate. Not so good in run block, but I'll take it. And let's see. What else? There's a lot of news. Jack, if you want to talk about any stats you want to go over with your Raiders, that was kind of the stats of the game. Oh, also, shout out for Max. Thought it was hilarious. Justin did his best impression of Phillip Rivers, his inner Phillip Rivers, and Max wasn't tolerating it. And if they could call flops, they would call flop on Justin. But that was a free 15 yards. So, yeah, Max was.
Hey, James John, I can't answer your call right now, bro. So I know you're watching. I can't answer your call. I'm on a show. So, yes, it's like, DZ, it's like, I'm glad that Max, pushed Herbert, like, said. He's yelling in his ear, like, on that first down. I'm glad he pushed him down, dude.
There's a reason why he was yelling, right?
Give the attitude. Like, I like the attitude, from my team to your team to any other team. It's like, I'm just glad it happened because there's really not a lot left for my season. And I'm tired of, like, of getting pushed around. This team's getting pushed around every single week. And I called it. I think I had the closest call, like the score prediction, like last week. DZ. It's like getting beat up. I'm tired of being beat up. I'm tired of all the bullshit. At the same time, it's like right now I'm like looking afterwards. I'm looking for like draft picks. Yeah. I'm looking for the draft.
That seems to be the narrative of Raider Nation is they're transitioning from the games to draft position. I think you guys are in 4th right now. And
you're right.
I don't know. You guys could screw around and win this week. Vic? But that's why I'm surprised. I mean, that they haven't started or gone with another quarterback, but I guess there's more issues to that. There's O-line. I thought, it was kind of good that you guys had some of the younger guys play this week. Finally got to see some draft picks or, some of the last year's draft picks play. I thought that was kind of good. What'd you think?
Yeah. Zed, it's like, I agree. It's like, finally, like, Carlos Rogers, like, got a chance to play. It's like, and it's like, he was like one of the best offensive linemen we had on the line of scrimmage against your team, which got 5 sacks. So it's like, I'm glad. I want to see the young guys play. I'm tired of, like, what Pete Carroll's doing. And it's like, play the old dudes, not get anything done. It's like, we're finally like, let's play all the rookies, not some of them. Like, Rodgers only had like 17 snaps this game. And then, Mahi, this guy's been on like the practice squad. They brought him up. And then he played the rest of the snaps. It's like, why is not Meredith like playing at center or like, or Putnam playing up center? Again, it's Pete Carroll's son. It's like, who's doing like nothing. I mean, I don't understand. Every week, it's like I've talked about this the whole season with you guys. I don't understand what Pete Carroll's son and Brendan Carroll is like doing. We don't play any guys at all. It's like going backup to backup and like, playing guys that are not in the, like, played in their position. And Zed, congratulations to you, bro.
4.
You helped me out, as a Raiders fan. And I don't want to win anymore. It's not that I don't want to compete. I want the Raiders to win, just win, baby, right?
Yeah.
Every single week, but they're so bad. They can't win in any single week. And then next week, I got to go against this guy over here, Richie,
Tall
in the
tales
Broncos.
with that defense. I
want to say this. I want to say this. It's been a rough couple of days for me.
Oh, I see. Okay.
So my friend and a friend to the show of this channel, and Gord Peterson, another Canadian. I bought this hat right here. I bought this hat. If you guys can see it, I don't know if you guys can see it, but I bought this hat. It got signed by Lester Hayes. And I got my boy Gord the same hat, a different hat. And I heard that he passed away. And it's like, I've been struggling, literally. Like, as my friends, like you guys are my friends. And like Nab Man over there is my friend. And it's like, I've been struggling so hard with this passing. I didn't know this until the other night on Friday when Jeff 401 Raider brought it up. And it's like, I've been tearing up like, all week. It's like, he's been my friend and we talk behind the scenes, everything else. So this show, Gord, for you, and, he thinks about, you, Richie, because I know he's in your neighborhood. And it's like, when the storm's going to come in and when your trees are breaking off, and you show the stuff like, send us pictures. He thinks about you too. It's like, Gord, I salute to you, brother. This, you mean more to me than any Raider game or than anything else. I lost a friend. So, guys, fuck, I'm sorry.
Well, condolences, Jack. Certainly. I mean, that's anytime you lose a friend, regardless of where you sit on the spectrum of football, it's a big thing. My wife and I are getting ready to say goodbye to a dog that we've had for 12 and a half years this coming weekend. So I know all about loss, and of course, as Raiders fans, we know losses all too well. But I will say this: if you had told me at the beginning of the year that the Patriots would only have 2 losses at this point in the season, and one of those was to the Raiders, I would have laughed that one off. They had some good talent at the beginning of the year, but they had absolutely no depth. And this is what happens when you have a head coach in an organization that does 2 things at once. When they say, okay, we're going to build for the future and we're also going to win now. You can't do both. You can't tell your fan base, you can't tell your team, and you can't tell your organization that you're going to do 2 things that are so opposite. You either have to commit to one or commit to the other. This Raiders team has not done that. They need to go ahead and commit for a rebuild, and they need to let everybody know that. They need to let the organization know that, the coaching staff, and then once we've committed to the rebuild, Mark Davis has got to figure out who's running this clown show. We haven't had that in years where we've had one person to be in a stable position to run this thing before they get the rug pulled out from underneath them for about 1 or 2 years. So if John Spytek is the guy, I'm all for that. But Mark Davis is going to have to put the reins in his hands and say, okay, you take this and run with it, and we're not going to do the rug pull. If it's Pete Carroll, then this organization's in trouble because Pete Carroll is not in it for the long term. He is not a long-term stay. So the Raiders are going to have to make a decision about who's in charge, and then they're going to have to do 2 things. They're going to have to build up that offensive line through the offseason. They're going to have to draft at least 2 offensive linemen and a quarterback on a rookie deal, preferably in the first round, which means that the Raiders are probably going to need 2 first-round picks one to get an offensive lineman and one to get a quarterback. And the only other thing I'm going to say, and then I'll shut up for a while, is anytime you have a team that gives up 25 sacks in 4 games, you're looking for trouble.
Yeah.
Huh. I'm not sure I disagree.
Nav,
with
you're on mute,
almost
buddy.
Nav, you're on mute, but I don't think I actually disagree with almost anything you just said there. I think that the ownership group owes it to the fan base who have been extremely loyal to the organization.
Like almost
Like-
way
like-
too loyal to a
yeah.
fault.
Yeah.
Like I think
Like-
Raider Nation is absolutely batshit crazy, way too loyal to the Raiders because your owner is showing he doesn't give a shit about you guys. For
Yeah.
23
What-
years, you've had 2 winning seasons, and this guy's
Yeah.
increased his wealth by billions. By
Don't-
billions. In 2011, they were worth 770 million. To 2025, $7.7 billion. And
Okay.
what have you guys had to show for the last 2 decades?
D-
If I was a
DZ,
fan, I know. Go ahead, Nav. You're like the happier Raiders fan, but go ahead.
No, I want to hear what he
if I
said.
may- If I may, I fucking hate the Chargers.
Sure.
Sorry
cool.
for the F-bomb. But you make me like the Chargers a little bit more because you're a fucking human being that freaking speaks sense.
Okay. That's right.
Okay?
dude.
So, here's the thing. Tom, love you, man. Love you. And it's exactly the thing. We've been piecing these little pieces together over the last 10 years that mean nothing. It means nothing. And we go out and get these free agents that are freaking sitting on their freaking couch and shit. Bring them in for a 1-year contract. Shit like that. We've been doing that for years. It's time to wipe it clean. It's time to wipe it clean. Mark, I'm telling you what, the freaking Aces and the Knights ain't going to freaking pay your freaking shit forever because when you lose the nation, Mark, I'm talking to you. When you lose the entire nation, you got nothing. You got nothing. And DZ said it best that we live and die with this, right? The
Right.
thing about it is we're to the point at a nation where we're done with that. We're not going to live and die with it. There are
What's up, Don?
so many Raiders. I mean, I'm a Raider from birth. I didn't have a choice. My dad said you are. You know what I mean? That's just, I mean, and my daughter's like, thanks, Dad. I'm like, well, okay. Well, it is what it is. And she goes, well, I'm thinking about, I'm like, well, don't think hard because if you do, then I'm done with you too. Because you don't give up on shit, you know? So the thing about it is it needs to be freaking wiped clean and rebuilt correctly. And the only way you do that shit is with youth. You need youth. It's that simple. Look around the entire NFL. Two exceptions, Andy Reid and Sean Payton. The only 2 exceptions to that rule of going dead straight young. McVay, LaFleur, all those guys, young coaches, young minds with new stuff and that type of stuff. We don't need a fucking grandfather at the Raiders. We already have one. His name's Al Davis. Whether he's on the planet or not, he's the grandfather. We don't need a 74-year-old running our team. This shit needs to be done. Clear it, be done with it. And I'd rather talk about football games upcoming But the thing about it is, with the Raiders, dude, what are you doing? Ever since we go to Vegas, it's become a freaking goddamn sideshow. And I'm sick of it.
Big show.
Yeah.
No, it's a
What-
sideshow. It's a sideshow, like a circus, like a sideshow.
It
You know what
feels
I mean?
like if you look at the records, Nav, it feels like something happened in 2003 after that 2003 season. And then there was 16 and 2021 were some good years. I think that was Derek Carr, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. And then, but other than that, it's like, what WTF? What's been going on?
Right.
And I don't have the answers. I don't think anybody really has answers. But I mean, it's got to get torn down from the studs, and I think it starts from leadership all the way down. You know,
Right.
And I think the main thing is getting yourself a franchise quarterback, which is easier said than done.
I think the best thing in the building right now is John Spytek. The dude needs to freaking be a GM. He needs to be able to do what he needs to do to build a team.
I mean, you got some Ferraris
is
in a
smart.
trailer park right now with Bowers and Crosby. So
Yeah,
you
he's
need
a
to,
young GM that has made great freaking calls on draft picks. But I think when it comes to free agency, he doesn't have a whole lot of freaking say in it. It's all being handed to the head coach, which shouldn't be. It's like, wait, hold on. Do we want all these one-year deals? Do we really want all this if we're trying to win now? No. I think Spytek from the beginning has been like, this is something I'm going to have to build from the ground up. I think Spytek knew this is going to be a ground-up build. So
I think what the challenge that you run into with that, Nav, is that, and look, to say I am empathetic to the position you're in right now would be an understatement. I went from 2015 to like 2023, 2024, where we did not have a winning season at all. And
Right.
when I'm hearing what Tom said, what you're saying, and you know, Jack and I have already had these sorts of conversations on the regular, both in private chats and here on the show. Obviously won't disclose conversations in private chats, just the theme of them in terms of what we spoke about for the Raiders, which is, you know, in my opinion, you have three main pillars that need to be addressed. Number one, and this is the biggest issue because as fans or fanalists, we will not know the exact issues in terms of whose feet they lie on, right? I had the same problem with Denver. So I'm literally speaking from my own experience and saying the same things you are. You don't know 100% until enough evidence is laid out before you where the actual issues lay when it comes to building the team. You don't know if it's the president that's overstepping her bounds in terms of trying to control what the GM does. You don't know if it's the GM that is out over his skis or making stupid choices.
Right.
And you don't know if it's the head coach that's being given way too much power and has no idea how to put together a roster. Now, you have some idea of that now with the Raiders because you've got multiple regimes that you can kind of span out over time. And then at some point, and this is where I landed with my Denver Broncos, and I was on, you know, live on air with these sorts of comments, so I can't run from them. Like they're go look them up. Which is, I was so happy when ownership changed for my Denver Broncos. With the ownership group that we have to the ownership group that we have now, because the former ownership group was always in a position of we want to maximize profits
I see you, Dave.
at the expense of the quality of football on the field. And then now you see the Walton Penner group, like basically Walmart on the football field in some regards. That, like, you see the ownership, like as in like the main primary owner of the team come out in a presser and say, money is no object, we want to win. And you see the difference, like the shift in like mental mindset of how the team is afforded opportunities. And I do wonder if there's some issues with that.
That's different. That's different than what you guys went through is different than what we're going through.
I never said it's the same, but my point is that if the mentality of the ownership group isn't I'm all in on football, and I want this football team to win, and this is like the primary focus of what we're trying to do. And you can look around the league. Let's be real. Both New York teams, I use that term very loosely. They're basically New York teams in name only, because
Right.
they don't
Jersey
actually
team.
yeah, they're Jersey teams basically. If you want to if you want to be honest. And there's a few other teams across the league that we all know which ones they are. They basically field a whiz bang style team for the vast majority of the time. They pump out a whole bunch of press, and then they basically end up putting out ultimately a mediocre product on the field. And it's got to be frustrating for those fans. I was one of
That's a
them.
fact right there.
Yeah. Right.
Yes.
Well,
And-
this
and-
this brings up a good point, and I was going to mention this earlier. The fly in the ointment with this whole thing for the Raiders is we have a 10-time Super Bowl guy who is in Mark Davis's ear.
Yeah.
And he is starting to talk football, but he's doing this from a part-time perch up in the press box. He is saying some of the things to build the team, but he's not fully committed. And
No.
and I don't hate
And
Tom
he can't
Brady.
be.
but
And,
what happened-
and Tom, he can't, and he
Yeah.
can't be. All these things that people are saying, Tom needs to do this, Tom needs to do that. He
Yeah.
contractually can't do it.
Bingo.
Yeah.
Bingo.
He can't. And I think Mark is listening to him too much. And there are little pieces here. Mark decided to keep the defensive coordinator on, and so told Pete, okay, this is what you have to work with. And the Chip Kelly hire was not a Pete Carroll hire. So all these things were kind of put together and pieced together and thrown into into Pete Carroll's lap. And everybody said, okay, well, this guy can win 7 to 8 games per year just because he's never lost. Well, again, that goes back to what I was saying before. You can't rebuild a team and then also say, well, this guy's going to step up and instantly double the win total for this team. While you've got somebody, a Super Bowl winner, talking into Mark Davis' ear, saying one thing, they just need to develop a firm foundation. Spytek is the guy who can do it, but the question is, will Mark step up and say, here it is, you run it. You make the decisions. You decide on the head coach. You let that head coach bring in everything and get everything set the way it should have been years ago.
Because to be honest with you, Spytek comes from the right spot to be a great GM. He just needs to be given the opportunity to be one. So the other part is DZ can kind of have this mindset, what I'm about to say. The teams that are in here, the Broncos, the Chargers, and the Raiders, only one team has moved multiple times in 20 years to different cities and try to be competitive. Okay. The last time the Raiders won a Super Bowl, they were in LA, for crying out loud. And now we go to Vegas, which is, for crying out loud. When I first thought of that, I'm like, yeah, that's probably great for the franchise, money-wise, right? Mm-hmm. Because Oakland and Alameda just weren't willing to freaking build a better stadium. They weren't willing to give up the land. They weren't willing to do all that. And now we're already seeing that, hell, the Oakland A's are leaving, right? Hell, Golden State too. On next. You know what I mean? So it's one of those, you go to Vegas, it's kind of like, how do you even build a team, through all that shit and have a continued level of success, and that's what burns my ass the most. I'm an Oakland Raider fan. Okay, guys, they're always going to be the Oakland Raiders to me. They'll never be anything different. The Broncos have never left Colorado. So the only difference, Richie, that I would say between what you said, which was perfectly accurate, would be that you've never done that before. That would be the
no.
only thing.
Moved no, and certainly not the number of times that the Raiders have. The Raiders have physically moved maybe more than any
Is
other
it 3 or
team.
4
It,
times?
I think it's got to be a record. No,
4 times.
Right?
no, but
It is.
the other thing is that in all of your moves, you've also kept the same name. Like a lot of other teams have moved a few times, but they've actually gone through name changes as they've
True,
gone
yeah.
through their moves as well. But you guys have kept the same name, which, by the way,
But that's a
let's be
money
real,
thing.
though.
That's a merchandising thing. You
Well,
wouldn't want to
exactly
lose
what.
shit
Well,
for merchandise.
if you hadn't jumped in, that's exactly what I was going to say. I
Yeah.
wouldn't
But
blame
then-
you for keeping the same name. That logo is freaking everywhere,
Right.
like everywhere.
It's
So
it's I promise you, after this year, their merchandising is going to be low.
I mean,
Yeah.
you've got to the fans, the Raider fans have got to do something across the country. Because they're a huge fan base, massive fan base. They're in every neck of the woods, Timbuktu. But they've got to do something. They got to hurt the pockets. They got to do something, say something. I don't know what you guys do. You have your powwows
I don't know either.
all the time. But they've got to let ownership know, like, you guys cannot go through another decade or another whatever of this just piss poor. Like, after this win we had, I didn't feel the need to gloat, to say anything.
Right.
I was like, this is getting sad. Like, I watched what Brock Bowers did. I'm like, God damn, that guy's freaking amazing, dude. Uncoverable.
Yeah, Bowers is a beast.
Such a special talent. And then Max Crosby, obviously that motor, that passion. He's got that Raider. He's like, shut up, Justin. Boom,
Right.
shoves him down. But then here's this. Then you draft Genty, and not to bring it back down, but, he had 15 carries for 31 yards. That's horrible. He has a 3-point yard, 3 yards per carry average, fewest yards per attempt by any running back drafted in the top 10 since 2000. The other guy is Thomas Jones. I don't even know who the hell that is.
Right.
This just shows how
Thomas Jones became a linebacker.
Oh,
Just
God.
so you know.
Well, I thank you, but
Well, Genty.
now there's
Genty-
some trivia right there.
Genty's doing the best he can. When you've got Spanky, Alfalfa, and Froggy blocking for you, you don't have much of a chance.
I got that. But look who the Chargers
Hold
have on
on.
their O line, and look what Vidal is doing.
Hold on.
We can push back on that.
I have to jump in on that, and this is exactly. I mean, I'm going to be flogging a dead horse here because my comments are eerily consistent on this. A really good or even above average O-line can make an average running back look above average. Okay, it's just facts. Like, this is how that
Yes.
works.
That's
Like,
a fact.
I'm sorry, it's just how it works. And so when you guys came into the season, Jack, DZ have all been here. Nav, you've been a fan of the show, and you've heard me say this live, I'm sure, on more than one occasion. It's simple. This is super basic. This does not need to be rocket science. Number one, I'll literally lay out what the Raiders need to do right here. Number one, you need to find yourself an offensive scheme and stick to it. Number two, you need to draft your offensive lineman based upon that offensive scheme and stick to it. Don't go whiz bang. Don't go all stupid and say, oh, but that guy looks really good. It doesn't matter. He either fits your scheme or he doesn't. And then number three, build your defensive line along with your offensive line, because your defensive line will make your defensive backs look better. They will allow them to play better overall. And then from there, once you've established both of those core areas of your trenches, you will be in a position where you're going to be in that upper middle portion of the league from basically a win-loss perspective. And then you are willing, or could be willing at that point, to go and trade away a few picks to get the quarterback that fits that scheme, and then you can ride with them as your franchise quarterback. Right now, where you're at as a team, if you were to draft a first-round quarterback, which I know that's the basically that's the temptation for you to do right now in this year's draft, just because of how high you are. And frankly, it could actually be a temptation worth pulling the trigger on, because the three teams above you actually don't need a quarterback really right now when you look at the draft order. So that's kind of interesting. But the temptation for you is going to be going and drafting a quarterback. I actually think that you would be better off trading back to get a whole whack of first round picks, load up your lines with real solid talent, and then you can trade and do some like shifting and moving in next year's draft to get a quarterback, or the year after to get that quarterback. And Nav, this kind of goes to what you were saying, and Tom to what you were saying. Stick with that plan and keep with that coach, keep with that staff, knowing that this is a 3-year plan, and have some kind of modest communication to the fans accordingly.
Okay, hold on. Can I, Tom?
Go ahead.
Tom,
Yes.
I'm gonna defer to you, but after this,
Gotcha.
Richie, I get you, 100%
I get it
understand,
too.
and I hope, and I 100% hope and wish for that. However, this is the fucking Raiders. Okay, so Tom, I know you're going to say what I want to say. So I'm just going to leave it to you. I'm going to defer.
Okay, let's see.
Well, I hope I'm on your brain wavelengths here. So let me just shoot from the hip. Number one, I think the first priority for this team is they need to draft, or not draft. They need to go into free agency, and they need to make 2 significant pickups on the offensive line. 2, no less. They can pick up more than that if they can, but they need to pick up at least 2. I've got my eyes on 2 guys. I'm not going to say exactly who, but I've got my eyes
Don't say
on 2 guys
Linderbaum
right now if they can afford them. That's the only thing. I'll hold off on names because one may be surprising. So I'll just hold off for right now because, again, these teams may lock them up before they even become available.
Yeah.
The other thing is you do need to get a first-round quarterback, and here's why. The quarterback that they draft may or may not be the guy of the future. And I will point to this year's Indianapolis Colts team. If you'll recall, the Indianapolis Colts drafted a top 5 quarterback 2 years ago. Is he playing right now? Hell no. Is he probably going to see the field again? Maybe not. But you know what? That didn't kill them. They swung for the fences. They brought in a rookie quarterback on a rookie deal, and the fact that he didn't pan out did not hurt them because they continued to build the rest of their team. They were able to put other pieces in place. So again, they have proven that you can go in and get a rookie quarterback and not necessarily have it decimate your team. This is not the 2007 era anymore where you draft a guy number 1 overall, give him half of the world, and he can't even get up off his couch, or can't even make it off the from the dining room table to get into his uniform. This is different, but the Raiders have been shell shocked ever since. They're not willing to make that. They're not willing to swing for the fences on that. You simply have to. Maybe it hits, maybe it doesn't, but you got to at least pull the trigger.
Yeah,
Tom, I agree. I agree with you.
That was right on the money with what I
Right
was
on the
saying.
money.
And Jack, I think we talked on Instagram before this, and that is right on the money, is it not? And I didn't even talk to Tom. That was like right on the freaking money. However, the one thing that's being said in the chat here is, how do we have other fans telling us how to fix our team? Well, because apparently we don't have a big enough voice to do it ourselves. So we have other fans, the Broncos, the Chargers, which all of us hate each other, right? But they're telling us what we should do.
On game
Right?
day during the
That's
season.
the bigger problem, right? The bigger problem is when we have our hated rivals telling us how to fix our team. That's where we're at right now. And
No,
I think
Nav,
a lot of
it's actually worse than that. If I could jump in just real quick, it's worse than that, and then keep going. We're telling you that we actually want you to be better.
And that's fucked up. How fucked up is that?
And I will second that. I will second that, Richie, because like I said, like I was just saying, I was like, our win didn't. It was like,
Yeah, it is what it is. Yeah.
yeah.
I
So
mean,
like,
usually
I'm
with
not
the
sure-
Raiders game, you're like, oh, fuck, we might
I'm not
lose.
sure if you guys remember this or not, but this is a story from way back in the day. Matt Millen, who is a loyal former Raider, and at the time going into the 2007 draft, he was actually the GM for the Detroit Lions, and he and Al
Second round
Davis
draft
had
pick.
several conversations, and Matt Millen was trying to plead with Al and say, you can't draft this guy number 1 overall. And Al was afraid that he was trying to set him up so that he would lose out on Jamarcus, and that Millen was going to come in and pick him at the number two spot. That just shows some of the level of paranoia that when you have somebody at the very top who has in his mind what's going to happen, is not willing to listen to anyone. That's what's going to happen. And something else that you all may or may not know, Richie, you may know this. I think it's been talked about probably in Denver Straits, but in 2003, the year that the first year that the Raiders were in the season after their Super Bowl colossal failure, and the whole 2003 season came and fell apart. The guy that Al Davis actually wanted to come in and coach the Raiders was a young coach by the name of Sean Payton.
Yep. Damn it, Tom.
I've heard that before. But
Love it, Tom.
I'm not sure that Peyton would have been the same, because he had the unwavering support when he ended up going into New Orleans from the ownership there. Like in that first year where kind of everything aligned after Katrina and all that kind of stuff. I do question whether or not you would end up with the same coach, the same outcomes, the ability to do things and maybe have them not work out, but stick with it and have it work out in the end, that kind of stuff. Like that matters a lot, actually. And
it would have been interesting, but I'm not sure that Peyton would have lasted longer than 4 or 5 years with Al Davis.
No, and Peyton's a
Probably not.
strong personality in and of himself. Like he's kind of got that, like, I'm going to tell you something no matter what, regardless if I'm a coach or not. And because, he feels that if you want me to be the captain, then you should respect my opinion. And I think that's I think that's not a bad trait, actually, for a head coach to have. I think that's a pretty good trait, because I think it's fair. If you want me to be the captain and get blamed and have the blame put at my feet when I win or lose, then you should also be willing to respect and hear my opinion for things that either go right or wrong on the field.
That's what got Shanahan in trouble.
Yep. It is. Yep.
Right.
Yep. Yep. So, look, a division game is always going to have a good portion or a reasonable portion of it where the teams are going to be fairly close. And then inevitably what will end up happening is if the teams are actually evenly matched, or if one team is well matched from a positional group or position, like just a team perspective, then the game will stay close right to the end. Or you'll get a massive divergence where if there's a huge kind of disparity in the terms of the team within the division, you'll often end up with this kind of like lopsided wins where, basically anything more than one score wins in a divisional game kind of gives you an indication that there's a bit of a lopsidedness within between the two teams, because that's pretty abnormal when you have divisional games throughout the NFL for the most part. So
can I end the conversation of like strictly how bad the Raiders suck with a simple deal? The Raiders 2025 total offense averaged 259.5 yards a game, ranked 30th in the NFL. This includes 184 passing yards, 26th, 75.4 rushing, 32nd. Team average 14.9 points per game, which is 31st, which I think after last game, that's probably 32nd. That's
Right.
so. Let's just end it with this. It all needs to be redone. If they're not on a rookie contract, they're fucking gone. I'm just like, I'm at the point where it's like just empty the whole damn thing if they're not on a rookie contract, and kill the coaching staff. Go freaking get more. Do it again. If it doesn't work, do it again. I don't give a shit. Hell, I'm 54 years old, be 55 in March. I've been through this over and over again. I don't care. Let's go.
Hey, Nav,
Let's
I got a
just
question.
end this stuff.
I got a question for Raider Nation. Who do
Okay.
you guys want as a head coach in 2026?
Young Chris Shula would be freaking amazing.
Tom?
Joe Brady, offensive
That's-
coordinator for the Bills.
I said that
Joe
last
Brady.
night.
Chris Shula, I think,
No,
is a young mind. He's a young mind, though. That's the thing. But I don't think the Rams going to turn him loose. I don't think he'll be turned loose. That's
Tom,
the
I
thing.
said Joe Brady last night on Coach's show. What's that show called, Nav, that they do last night? What is that with Captain Jack and all them?
That's
That's Captain Jack with the again, a bunch of hosts from our old show
All
here.
all our exes are in Texas. That's show.
Yeah.
But I said Joe Brady, and I thought that'd be one hell of a pairing with Spytek.
Joe Brady is only going to come, though, if they commit to bringing in a young quarterback that they can develop, a lot like the Washington Commanders did, and a lot like Chicago did.
I don't
That's one
think
of the
you guys are
reasons-
going to be able to get Mendoza, though.
Okay, well, Mendoza's not a guy I've got my eye on, to be honest
Yeah,
with you.
but I know you're talking about the Oregon guy, right?
No, I'm not.
Oh, who do you like?
no.
I'm talking
Mendoza's
about I'm talking about Mateer, the guy from Oklahoma,
Okay.
well,
who you can
and
get.
here's
who you can
here's
get mid
here's the
first
thing-
round.
Here's the thing
Hmm.
we have to understand, though. If a quarterback that comes out in the NFL draft and not drafted in the top 5, I mean, money-wise, if they're not a senior, money-wise, they're probably going to do better staying in the NIL in the NCAA. Mendoza is a different story. The dude wins the Heisman. There's nothing else to prove in the NCAA.
And from what I hear from the college guys that I listen to, look, I'll admit I'm not the biggest college guy, but I listen to guys who talk it every day and follow it. They say these quarterbacks coming out, there's only one of them that's a franchise quarterback, and that's Mendoza. And they're not high on any of the other guys. They say this QB class coming out is pretty trash.
Yes.
So,
Yeah.
Tom, I know you like the other guys, but that's just what I hear from those guys. So that's why I'm like, if you have a shot to get Mendoza, like right now, Raiders are at what, pick 4?
4.
So I'd have to get the draft order, see who needs quarterbacks, but they might have to jump ahead or
None.
try something.
That's what I said.
No,
That's the weird
they
thing.
don't have to.
Or maybe
That's
they
the
don't
weird
have
thing.
to. Yeah.
None of the other three teams ahead of them
Need a QB.
are really scrambling for a quarterback.
No, Titans won't be.
Titans won't be. Right.
Giants won't be. I mean,
No.
it's just
Here's the
one of
order
those
here.
where
Here.
What's
That's
the order?
those where,
Oh, okay.
like
Titans, okay.
Tom,
Thanks,
Tom, I
Stewie.
have to ask you. Tom, Jack, I have to ask you. If for whatever reason, I think what it'll come down to, Mendoza will have to win the Heisman or a Natty in order for him to come out to the NFL.
I would think it's funny though if you guys do get an Oregon guy and there'll be 3 Oregon Ducks in the AFC West, would be pretty hilarious.
It would be. But the thing about it is Mendoza will either have to win the Heisman or win the national championship in order for him to come out because he is a junior.
Okay.
I grew up in Indiana. I don't know if you guys knew that. Indiana Hoosiers football has never been worth a shit.
Surprised the hell out of me this year.
It's all been basketball. So this year I've been following them very closely. And Mendoza, the thing about Mendoza, he has this freaking switch in his brain that just turns him into a freaking clutch guy. He's like, I'm going to make this throw. You know what I mean? He's that guy. Now, this is in college. We had those dudes come to freaking NFL and not be well. But I will tell you this. If Mendoza wins the Heisman or the Natty, he will come out as a junior. But if he does neither one of those, I think he'll stay. I honestly think he'll have unfinished business. I've met this guy. I've met this young kid. He is he's a monster too, by the way. He's just a freaking monster.
So
This
now
guy-
I got to ask you a question. Like, next year, 2027, what do you think of, Carr from Notre Dame? And you and I being Notre Dame fans.
Yeah, I think I hope he gets better next year.
He's looking awesome this
Can't
year.
go to the draft this year. I mean, he's a redshirt. So
Right.
but the thing about it is, yeah, that's something to watch. But Notre Dame hasn't impressed me in any way, shape, or form other than CJ Carr. In any fashion whatsoever. As much of a Notre Dame guy as I am as far as a college and that type of stuff, they're really not that good as a team all the way around. So, look, but really kind of talking about Mendoza. So, if that dude were to come out, he is 100% day one, number one pick. There's no question in my mind. He is NFL ready. He looks like Peyton Manning, but runs like Lamar Jackson. I mean, it's ridiculous. It's this weekend we're going to find out just how good IU is. If you guys aren't watching Ohio State IU, I don't know what you guys are thinking, because that's going to be a damn good game, because their strength of schedule is damn near the same. Their win-loss or their wins by are about the same. I think IU's defense is better than Ohio State's. Many people will say I'm a freaking idiot on that. IU is more aggressive upfield. So, anybody know what OSU's quarterback's name is?
Yeah, he's from Carlsbad. It starts with an S. What
Right.
is that?
Right.
What the heck's his name? He's a true freshman.
Just saying.
Saying.
Just saying.
Saying, yeah.
Right. I call him just saying. Just saying.
He's. I wonder what he's going to look like in a few years.
You don't know who he is because he's not Mendoza. And this Indiana defense is going to come get it. That defense is predicated on win and lose on pressure. So, you guys, I'll leave it to you on the freaking weekend, but I got IU beating Ohio State for the Big Ten championship. I really do.
Those are bold words, Cotton. Bold words. But that I do think it's certainly possible. Like, it's certainly possible. Getting it back into the divisional games and stuff like that.
Yes.
I just want to quickly reel it in a little bit. We're gonna go ahead and just kind of quickly talk about the Chiefs' loss, obviously, which was a big deal.
How about them boys?
How about them Cowboys? And Nav, Tom, you will both appreciate this comment. And this goes back to what my comments about the Raiders were as well, which was the Cowboys made two moves that were substantial at the trade deadline. Two. Both of those moves were in the interior of their defensive line, and both of them were for either mid or upper mid or even upper echelon guys at their positions in the interior of the defensive line. And the result has been a defense that looks completely different. It looks completely different.
The scariest team in the NFL, right?
Like Frank Clark and Quinnen Williams.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like if you're going to be honest,
Kenny Clark.
yeah,
Kenny Clark.
yeah.
Kenny Clark. Yeah.
But like let's be real, the Cowboys defense was seen as a joke to start the season. Literally, it was the laughing stock of the team. Is that their offense was great and their defense sucked. And then now you're seeing this like two dudes come onto the team, and all of a sudden their defense looks like night and day difference. They're actually looking competitive, and their offense is able to stay off the field, get rested, and all that kind of stuff, and come on and continue to perform. That's exactly what I keep on saying on the show in terms of the defensive line and the lines. When you have a line that can do stuff like that, it makes a tremendous difference for your team in terms of how you can perform in a game. Like it just does. So that's all I want to say about the Chiefs. I will say that it is certainly put them in a you must win out.
Yeah.
And we'll talk about their game coming up this weekend. But let's just say that will be a tall task. Okay. And
Hey, can I mention one thing?
yeah.
The Cowboys are also going to get back Trayvon Diggs this coming week.
Yes.
That's going to make them a very scary team, bro.
Mhm.
I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Hotter than a goat's butt in a pepper patch.
Yeah.
But I will also
Nice.
mention that the Cowboys are going to be playing a very angry and very spirited Lions team that
true.
lost a very close game, who is battling for their playoff lives, and they are not going to lose against the Cowboys this coming weekend.
There's a lot
Really?
of that going on this week.
Yeah. So with that in mind, I just want to briefly mention the Sunday night football game, which I was less than a fan of, even though we won. It was just not good. There was a lot of stuff that needed some work in that game. We saw some quirks and some issues. We saw some regression, if you will, in certain areas. But then we also saw some really good things as well. So I don't want to necessarily, completely, crap all over my team in a win. But let's be real. We won because of an exceptional defensive play by one of the best defensive players in the league right now, like pretty close to that range. The one thing that we did see in the game, which was an abnormal thing for my Broncos, is that we barely got any sacks or real pressures in that game, which was really weird. And I do think that
abnormal.
And that's just weird. It was like very abnormal to see. I wonder if that was a game plan or if that was like an underestimating your opponent thing from the
I think it was
defensive line.
familiarity, Richie, between head coach of the Commanders and your guys' D coordinator. I think there was some of that. But then also Mariota played his butt off.
Yes, he did. He did. So I, generally speaking, it was a underperformance overall for the team. There was a couple players that played fairly well. There's a couple players that did not play very well. Jaquan McMillan continues to just light the team on fire in terms of how well he's playing. Singleton had a great game against the Commanders overall. He really kind of came back and played balls to the walls, pun intended. And so I think that needs to be something that is kind of mentioned in terms of how well Singleton played in his first game back. I think he's back. It was like 20 days after having surgery, back on the field, and you couldn't tell, which is insane.
That is insane. I used to love that guy. Like after, he stepped over Genty and grabbing his nutsack. I lost a lot of respect for that guy. But Singleton is like a guy a great linebacker. It's God damn. It's like I looked at him over like Spillane. He had better stats than Spillane. I'm like, Spillane was he's one of my favorites.
Yeah. So overall, it was the Broncos won. That's great, but there was a lot left on the field, and there was a lot of things that we should have done better that didn't. We won. That's great. Continue to progress the team forward. That's great. I will make one comment in the game there that really did spark a lot of Broncos fans. I made a couple comments as well. I want to see Bo Nix have more designed run plays. The problem that the Broncos have right now is that our running back room is light, and there are not a lot of great free agents that can truly step in and make a true difference on the team. I happen to like Jackson, I believe is his last name, who's on the Jags practice squad as a bigger back. He's 6'2", 240 pounds. He's a former kind of like running kind of college style quarterback that basically runs just as much as he throws the ball. He converted to running back, and he was actually looking pretty good when he started making some of those transitions in terms of plays. But I like that style, and I like the guy that has the quarterback mentality at the running back position. It'll give him better vision of the field, in my opinion, for what it's worth. But I do think, ultimately speaking, what we need to see from my Denver Broncos to open up running lanes for subpar running backs, guys that don't have vision and are not running the proper lanes or cuts or what have you, is you need to get the quarterback running the ball to spread out the defense more to allow those running lanes to be larger and more expansive. And that will allow us to then run the ball better overall as a team. I hope to see it soon.
Well, Richie, you picked a good week because I will just tell you the Raiders defense is going to run out of gas because they've been on the field way too much. And the reason why they've been on the field way too much is because they can't sustain
Thank you
drives.
for banning him.
They can't sustain drives. They can't be more than 3 and outs all the time. Plus, you've got an offense that is collapsing on their quarterback and getting him killed. So you're going to be able to control the ball this week. You're going to be able to have good long sustained drives. You're going to be able to wear that defense down. And what will start out as a fairly close game, just like the Commanders game did. It could be somewhere around 10-10 at halftime. It's going to end up being somewhere around 34-10 by game's end. That's my prediction. And I've got a dash, but I want to leave you all with one more thing. And here's my wish. This is my Christmas wish and my wish going into the new year. Here's what I wish. I wish for, on the very last game of the season, Raiders at home against Kansas City, I want it to be a full blackout. I want there to be nothing but black shirts in the whole stadium and people holding up signs throughout the stadium that says, "We're going home and you're going home."
Love it.
With that, gentlemen, I will bid you all a good evening.
Why did that
love it, Tom. Love it.
You all take care.
Good.
Hey, real quick, Bishop, happy anniversary, man. 6th-year anniversary this Sunday, he says.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's awesome.
Did we kick
Where'd
out the
Jack
wrong
go?
person?
Where'd Jack go?
Not sure.
No, he left on his own.
Oh, did he?
Yeah. So,
Hold it down, Nav, man. Hold it down.
Nav, you are now.
Oh my God!
Can
I?
You went from a 3v2 to 1v.
Can I do it? I don't know.
Oh no, I have faith in you. We'll just put it that way. So, that was my overall take on the Broncos game. I mean, I actually think the Commanders and frankly, I would rather them just go back to their old name. But the Commanders, I actually think, are a much better team than their record shows. And I think they have a lot of guys on their team that are actually quite good. And I think that welcome back. I think
menage a trois.
I think I just think the Commanders are a better team, and I think you're going to see a couple games this year where their team's going to kind of bounce back and play a lot better than they have been. And I think that a lot of the media and other guys will be like, "Where did that come from?" It's like, well, because they're actually better than what their record is, and so you're going to get those splash plays just because the team will eventually play up to their potential in a couple games at some point this year for sure. And you're going to start seeing that again because they started off reasonably well, and I think that you'd eventually see that kind of come back anyway.
Whooped our ass.
So anyways, that being said, we will look ahead to the week ahead, and I think that I would be remiss if I didn't at least call out the fact that Broncos Raiders. It's we are at it again.
It sucks.
Yeah,
It
we are at
sucks
it again.
Jack,
Now,
go ahead and say what you think, and then I'll say what I think.
Man, it sucks because you know what? Our team is so bad, and the Broncos are so good. I hate seeing this. I'm gassed because I love what they're doing. I love what the Broncos are doing. I love what they've done on the offensive line. Except Schittenberg. And but overall it's like the Broncos defense is good. This is what I want. It's what I've seen like in the 70s, great Raiders defense. This Broncos defense is good. When a first round draft pick can't even get on the field to the UDFA, it's like, he was taking over his spot. Now I've seen it. And I've listened to the words of Richie and what he's done. We're going to get crushed. Again, we're going to get crushed. But again, I don't want us to win any more games. We're not competitive anymore. There's no more compete. Compete doesn't resonate with me anymore. So yeah, it's gonna be a loss, and I think it's gonna be like again, it's like DZ team, it's like with a bad offensive line. DZ, your offensive line is not as bad as my offensive line.
So I checked the rank. There's this guy on X every week. He does these. I think he's Computer Cowboy on X. Good follow. Chargers still, they have the worst still as of today or as of after this last game, the worst run blocking offensive line and the second to worst pass blocking offensive line after how he does his computer measurement grades. But I get your point, Jack. I mean, I get it. We just make the best of it, I guess.
Well, yeah, right. It's like you look at your UDFA. It's like what did he do against Raiders?
Are you talking about Jamari Sawyer?
Was it Vidal?
Oh, Kamani. Yeah, no, he wasn't a UDFA. He was a 6th round pick a few years ago. I'm pretty sure.
Man, he smoked the Raiders. He smoked the Raiders defense because the offense is so bad. They get so worn out on the defense.
That's why the score. That's your offense is leaving your defense hung out to dry. I don't know if somebody said it earlier in the show. I don't know if it was Tom or Nav. They talked about your guys' D coordinator. I thought that was a great hire to keep him around. That was something because your defense was decent last year. It's still decent this year. It's just the offense is hanging out that defense to dry throughout these games.
Right. No, I agree with you. DZ, it's like, I like Patrick Graham. I hope Patrick Graham stays next year. And they give him a big contract. I don't care. Pay that man that money because the offense has been so bad. You look at it, it's like I said this to you guys, 0.4 yards before the first hit on Genty.
Yeah.
That's on the offensive line. That's on Brendan Carroll.
Yeah.
So it's like it's not going to change. The offensive line is not going to change. I mean, hell, Nav, you saw this, and Tom, you saw this. Why is Kappa playing center? Why is he playing center?
He's the best center we have right now.
That's some bullshit. You know what I mean?
No, but I mean that's literally he's the best center we have, and he's never even fucking played center.
Right.
But he's the best one we have. I mean, JPJ hurt, right?
I've been telling these boys this whole year, why are they putting JPJ at right guard?
Yeah, that shit fucking burned my ass, though.
That burned me too, bro.
You got to be shitting me. Come on.
Hey, what'd you guys think of Jeremy Chin's performance? I thought he had a hell of a game.
That motherfucker.
He's good, dude. He's good.
I thought he had a hell of a game for you guys, man.
I just hope we can keep him as a strong safety because that's what he needs to be.
Right.
Every
I
time
agree.
he steps up into that free safety spot, he gets his ass handed to him.
He had 17 tackles, 8 solo. Like, dude,
Right. He needs to be a strong safety. That's what he is. He's a strong safety.
I like
Hey,
that.
he's number 8, strong safety in the entire NFL right now. So yeah, they better extend him.
Yeah, I liked his play.
I
I didn't
would
like
see-
him hurting my quarterback hand, but
Well, Chin's one of the few that actually is on a 2-year contract.
Right. You got one more year.
So,
yeah,
extend him.
what Tano's saying is extend him. Yeah, extend him now.
yeah, I would say Chin needs extend. There's no question. Chin, extend the chin. Extend the chin.
Extend the chin.
Yeah. Yeah. So,
and Richie, going against your Broncos next week, I don't expect them to win. But all I want is I just want to see Geno to be better than your quarterback. That's all I want. It's like I don't expect him to win. I just want Geno to be better than your quarterback. That's all I want.
Jack, what's in those Sierra Nevadas, man?
Hey, bro, I will say this: Geno has his best game against the Chargers the whole season. It was his best game ever.
What, this week was his best game?
Yeah, it was the best game.
Damn.
Go look up the stats, dude.
I do. I have his stats. I said it.
So,
he was 18 for 23. Yeah, he did pretty good.
Yeah. So my thing here is I think the Broncos defense after their performance against the Commanders are going to be pissed. Like livid angry. Because they had a couple good performances but they were forced into the bend don't break style, and they kind of had a couple moments where they didn't do as well as they could have or should have or are used to. And I think that they're going to want to get their sack totals back up. Like, they're going to be trying to hit your quarterback. Like, that is going to be the goal, and they're going to attempt to capitalize at all costs.
Please do.
Yes.
Do that. Please.
And if I remember correctly, and I'm simply going off of memory, so if either of you two, or including you, DZ3, have the actual number, I think the Broncos had 7 sacks against the Raiders the first time we played this year.
Six.
Wasn't that game like 10-7 or something?
Yes.
Jesus.
It was a close game.
It was a very, very close game. I do think that we're going to see a little bit more separation in the score, but not by much, because I think that the Raiders defense has got a pretty good personnel grouping still, in terms of, because you don't have that many injuries on the defensive side of the ball, and you're playing fairly well on defense. And so I think that you guys have a reasonable shot at slowing down the Broncos offense like you did before. The question and the piece that I think that is probably going to be the windfall is going to be the defensive side of the ball for the Broncos against the offensive line of the Raiders, which is pretty banged up right now.
Banged up, and they sucked.
Huh. So I have my take on this game. You want to hear it?
Yeah.
I think Kai Blue Kelly is the freaking biggest boomer bust freaking cornerback in the NFL.
Yeah.
Right.
And Bo Nix is the perfect dude for him.
Him and Riley Moss.
Because I will tell you what, Kai Blue Kelly, he either gets burned or picks the ball.
Yes.
That's simple.
Yeah.
So Bo Nix is gotta be he fits right in the mold of making that wrong throw for Kai Blue Kelly.
Yep.
However, it's still going to be a blowout.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm just saying. Not a blowout necessarily. I would say probably could be 24-10 at worst, because it is a division game, and it is one of those, and it's one of those where, like Richie said, his defense is pissed off. They want to go upfield. And I'll tell you what, please do me a favor. Please do me a huge favor. Tell all your defensive linemen I want freaking Gino to be put out of the freaking game.
He was this close. He was
put out of the game.
He was this close the first game we played. The dude was like hopping on one leg out there. Like,
put him out of the game. Just put him out. Motherfucker does this shit to the nation.
Yeah.
I got this for you. I'm sending you the Broncos defense.
Yeah.
I got
beat his ass down, dude.
Who would they?
When
So they
you're
would
an
put
asshole
Pickett,
like that,
obviously. Nav,
you
so
don't
they're
be
gonna
an asshole like that when you're making that kind of money. And the Raiders and the entire fan base is saying, hey, dude, what the fuck's wrong with you? They can flip you off all they want. They're paying customers. You flip them back off, guess what? You're the asshole. I'm just saying. You're making millions, bro.
It's like Russell Wilson, right? Like, get his ass out of there. Get him out.
Bye, bitch.
Yeah.
You know, I want the Broncos to destroy his ass.
Yeah, I actually
However,
think that the
it's
Broncos
going to
are
be a
better
fairly
suited.
close game. In
I
my
agree.
opinion, it'll be a
I agree.
fairly close game for a while. And then I think eventually the Raiders defense will get worn down because they'll be on the field too long, like they
Right.
normally are. But I will tell you this. Your Raiders offensive or your Broncos offensive line better be very wary of one name, Adam Butler. Adam Butler has come across the freaking line of a freaking mean-ass defensive tackle. Adam Butler is a stud.
He is a
I'm
stud, dude.
telling.
And like Wattenberg, Butler versus Wattenberg, or like
Oh,
Watten.
boy. Adam
Woo.
Butler is freaking on one right now. I know the rest of the team's not doing so well, and Max is doing – he's having to, like, cut around and get in to make tackles because we don't know how to fucking tackle. I don't know, Pete. Maybe that's something you should teach your freaking
They don't
team
even teach
is
that
how to
in
fucking
NFL.
tackle. But Adam Butler, that dude is freaking on one. I'm just telling you. Jack, do you disagree with me? Adam Butler's
No, I
on.
agree with you 100%. Nav, Wattenberger, like water, whatever,
Oh,
water, piece of shit, water.
Waterburger's gonna get
Like
freaking.
Richie
gonna
will
get
agree
a
with
freaking
He's
education.
horrible.
I promise you that. Adam Butler's freaking on one. There's no question. That dude is Chris Jones reinvented in a freaking Raiders uniform. I'm just saying. He is freaking on one.
So
Adam Butler needs to stay a Raider.
So he must be getting like quarterback hits and stuff like that because his
Yeah,
sack
pressures.
totals. Because his sack
Constant
totals
pressure.
are. Yeah, so his sack total isn't particularly high.
No.
No,
His pressures and
Pressure.
hits must be higher. So
Tackles
Yes.
for loss are high
yeah.
for Butler.
Oh,
For a defensive tackle, that's very high.
Mhm.
Tackles for loss.
So he's your effective dude that's getting through the line, isn't always able to get home per se, but basically knocks the quarterback off his spot and then gets to the running back to bring him down. That kind of stuff.
He's
Yeah.
in the backfield all the time.
Yeah.
The last
Yeah.
3 games, Adam Butler's been in the backfield against everybody. He doesn't. He's on one. He's all of a sudden out of nowhere. This dude just took the "I'm going to kill everybody" pill.
Is he due for an extension or something?
No, he's already Jack. I think he's
Just playing for pride right now.
no. I think he's got another year left on his contract.
He's got another year. He signed a 3-year deal this year.
3-year deal. Yeah. So that Adam Butler has always been good. He's never been a question. No, I don't think he's ever been questioned on whether he needed to be on the defensive line. It's always been a question of where he needs to be. And I think they tried him at defensive end, and it didn't work out well last year. And
So
when Malcolm Kuntz went down.
now, just to kind of give you my
think about
score,
this.
because you kind of.
So Richie was like, you look at it like, with Christian Wilkins, been out there, he got cut, and no team's even signed him yet because of what he's done. So Butler was like, the number 2 defensive tackle, but now he's put in a position like number 1, and he's still stepping up.
Adam Butler is a problem in the middle. He's a problem. So Richie, all I'm saying is we're not going to beat you. I don't think we're going to beat you. I'm just saying that you need to be careful with this guy. This guy's on one. He's on one.
I don't doubt that. So I've been on the show before, and it was my number 1 WTF bye week signing for my team, which is we decided to extend Whatabaygle on my team. And I just don't understand. Like, I really don't get it. Like, as an example, if you look at the pressures on the quarterback overall, like just generally speaking, they're all from the center. They're all in the dead middle of the field. And it's almost always because Wattenberg either overbites on the play, turns his body, which is basically opening a lane on one side or the other, takes a step too far up, which then that's what I mean by overbiting, and that allows guys to get around him beside him, or he gets pushed back. And a dude that eats that many bagels should not be getting pushed back, right? Like, he's got too much weight to him to get pushed back like that. And that's a huge problem for me. And especially when you have Quinn Miners, who's a very aggressive player playing to his right. And then you got Palcho. You got Palcho, who is a legit starting right tackle at the NFL level. And he is playing lights out at left guard right now. And so I would literally.
These dudes in the chat are
I know.
killing me.
Yeah.
I'm reading some shit.
I would say this, Richie. I still like, your right tackle, McGlinchey, Notre Dame guys, like he's done pretty damn well overall. In the beginning, you were pretty harsh on him, but he's still a good guy. He's a good player.
Jack can't
Literally,
take his
he's a good
Irish
player.
glasses off.
Okay,
he's
so
like, wait, he played at Notre Dame?
Yes.
How about that? Yep. Raiders need to be all Notre Dame players. That's the way Jack would do it. Let's just Notre Dame.
So
no,
Jack,
but Lincoln is a good Notre Dame player. Like, again, Nav, look, go back in time, right? So there was a coin flip between the Niners and the Raiders, and the Niners won it. So they got McGlinchey. So we traded back a 3rd and a 5th round pick, and we got Colton Miller. Man, I'm glad we got Colton Miller. That dude's a beast, dude. He's been solid, year after year after year. His first year sucked as being a rookie, but overall,
left tackle
solid.
is one of the hardest positions to transition to the NFL.
He's only been hurt the last 3 years every year. So, just saying.
Usually on an island.
Yeah, but left tackle is one of the hardest positions to transition to at the NFL level because there is a lot of technical hand placement and technique that needs to be applied at the NFL level. At the college level, you could get away with just simply being the best athlete on the offensive line and typically do well enough to do well. So that's a huge thing and a huge difference at the NFL level coming into being a left tackle. That's why it has such a high failure rate in the transition from college to NFL. And that's also why teams try to extend those dudes like as quickly as possible once they know they're going to work out. Quickly back on your comment on McGlinchey. McGlinchey is an above average right tackle. However, he has huge gaps and holes in his game in terms of, and what I mean by that is he does really well in certain things. However, the things that he does really badly at, the dude sucks. Like, and I mean Richie, bad.
One of your own people just freaking like glitched you right there.
Where?
Denver Prod right there in the chat said Broncos about to win it all. Why do you say that? Don't ever do that. Don't ever say
Broncos
that
are winning
shit
the Super
as a
Bowl. They're
freaking
winning the
fan.
Super Bowl. They're winning the Super Bowl.
Don't
They're
ever
winning the
do
Super
that.
Bowl.
That's a Cowboy fan right there in the Broncos. As a Broncos fan.
Yeah,
Right
the thing here is you need to give your opponents the respect that they deserve. Like I said, even on last week's show, and I said live on X and stuff. Like and I said to Corey, who was on the Warpath show as well. Like that's a much better team than their record. Like they are a good, solid team, and they are better than you think they are. And yes, their record isn't great, but they are a much better team than you think they're going to be. The Raiders, when they play the Broncos, just like when they played the Chargers, kept it close for a good portion of that game. And then, yes, the Chargers did, in fact, pull away and they ended up winning. The point is, the Raiders are not nearly as bad as you think they are. They just need direction and some other things. I'm sorry. It's just that simple. We need to stop like slandering other teams, because at the end of the day, let's put it this way. My team would kill to have Max Crosby as a defensive end.
With Cooper and Benito?
Every team would
They're
want
outside
Max Crosby.
backers.
Who would you trade? Who would you trade for Max Crosby right now? Who? And how many draft picks?
Oh, I would never do draft picks.
No, I'm just saying. We give you
to.
Max Crosby, how many draft picks and what player?
Benito and some picks.
It'd probably be like it'd be an early round one, and then it'd be a future or later round one, and then it'd have to be a player also.
I'm not sure I'd be willing to give up that for Max at this stage in his career.
He's got a lot left.
He's like 27 years old.
Yeah, he's
so
good,
he's in
man.
his prime.
These guys played to like they're 30 something.
I agree, but the problem that Max has, and this is what my concern with Max is that he's been a one-man army. In fairness,
Yeah,
he has been an army. Okay, to be fair, he's had all of the wear and tear put on his body as a result of being kind of the one-man band. And so, I mean, I'd be looking at trading away one of the DNs. I think
Benito?
Max is probably more productive. Benito is not a defensive end. Benito is an outside linebacker.
But you run a 3-4. The Raiders run a 4-2. So he would be a defensive end in the Raider scheme. So what would you say?
I wouldn't trade Benito. I think it would be more. I think that's kind of like an equivalent. I think that Max would make a great addition on the other side of Benito. I think you could look at replacing him with Allen. I think would be a reasonable comp. He's an aggressive interior guy.
Look in the chat.
Oh.
Look, you're getting I'm getting blasted just for even bringing it up. I'm sorry I brought it up.
No, it's funny. It's fun. It's fun.
Okay, I was just wondering what a Bronco fan would pay for Max Crosby.
I have legitimate concerns.
Then you can get on Max.
I have legitimate concerns. No, I'm being serious though. Like he is a hell of a player, and I think that he needs to go onto a team or get help. One or the other, so that he doesn't constantly get the double and triple teams, so that there's someone else that another team is forced to put pressure on.
Yeah,
like
Max
that's a legitimate problem.
Inside. He's having to curl around inside to
even
get anywhere near a quarterback at this point.
Yeah, and I have a concern with that, like a legit concern with that.
Somebody said go Bills. Fuck the Broncos, go Bills. What channel are you on?
We're getting a lot. MHRT Network is getting almost every team coming into our channel.
We're going like multicultural.
We got a thing going.
Shit, the Bills. The Bills. I mean,
Bills are cursed, just like my Chargers.
What are they doing? I mean,
so
hell, they might not even make the playoffs, bro. The way they're fucking rolling. I mean. Shit, get the fuck out of here.
So I want to quickly just give
my question to you guys. Like, Khalil Mack gonna be a free agent. I want him back. I want Khalil Mack back.
No, you don't, Jack.
No.
Yes, I do.
He's in
No, you
Because
retirement.
you know what?
He's in retirement.
Coombs is going to be gone. Tyree Wilson's going to be gone. So you can bring, take the
Don't
money
care.
you're going to spend for those guys. I want Khalil Mack to come back. And DZ, what do you feel about that?
We need to wipe her clean, bud.
They got a lot of
Let's go.
decisions. They got a lot of decisions to make in this free agency. I don't want to get into that, but
We need to wipe her clean, Jack.
They need to
Don't
extend
worry about them
Cooley.
guys.
Odafe Owe is going to be a free agent. Khalil Mack's only on a 1-year deal. I say they bring him back. We got the money to be like,
Yeah.
let's run it back again, man.
Yeah. So I got a question. Nav, you gave your score briefly earlier on the Raiders-Broncos game. Jack, what is your score for the Raiders-Broncos game?
Don't be an asshole, Jack. Come on.
Hey, Nav, you know what? I'm going to call it honest, bro. I'm going to call it honest. We're going to lose, bro. We're going to lose. So I hate to say it. It's going to be like you call me out every time on the show, and you call me out behind the scenes, like, when the Raiders lose. But you know what? I'm going to see the Raiders losing again. I can't see the Raiders winning another game the entire year.
I see us winning one more game.
You know what? I want us to beat the Broncos, dude. I fucking sorry, Richie. I hate your Broncos. I hate your Broncos. But you know what? It's going to happen. So I'm going to call it 28-13. 28-13 Broncos. It's not because the Broncos offense is good. Broncos offense is like, just as bad as almost our offense, but the Broncos defense is good. They'll probably get a pick 6 or something like that. So
Don't trip. There's not a Chiefs fan in here because they're scared. We don't ever have a Chiefs fan in here.
Hey, I've tried to get Chiefs fans to come in here. They don't come in. But 28-13, I got to give it to Rich's team. Your defense is there.
So what you're saying is the Broncos are going to score 4 touchdowns and not kick a single field goal.
I don't care how it matches up. I'm saying 28-13. Whatever they do. Because you know what? I look DZ's team, I was the closest one. I was the closest one that called it on last week's show with the Chargers and Raiders. I was the closest one that called it.
No,
and I've been the closest one to call it.
Right on the money, didn't I? I called DZ. Did I not call it in the chat right on the freaking score?
Oh, I have your.
I write down your stuff, Nav.
Yeah, I've got Nav's score somewhere. I'm being serious.
I got Nav scores written down.
Oh, I called it right on the freaking money.
Where's last week's notes? I've got don't wait for me, but I'm looking for these notes because I got them all over the place.
I called it.
Look, Nav, you've already made one fatal error. Jackson, California, and you're expecting him to do math. Those two things do not match. Okay,
yeah.
Look, let's just call
wait a minute. He's from Tennessee, so
insurance agents can't do math. We know this.
Well, look, Jack, this is the problem. I believe California trumps Tennessee 100% of the time when it comes to all things going wackadoodle. So I'm gonna simply leave it there. I got relatives in California, my man. So
Nav, did you say? Are we talking about the 31-30 score?
Yeah, I think.
I've got Nav 31-30. I don't know exactly what score that was for.
No, that wasn't it.
Okay, I didn't write it down then. I wrote that one down.
God damn it, DZ.
I will say this, that the Raiders play Denver better than they play the Chargers.
Yes, they do. I will 100%. So I'm going to simply give my score here. I have 21-12 Broncos for that exact reason, Jack. I believe that the Broncos are going to win the game because I believe the defense is going to do what they're supposed to do. I believe that most of the game here is going to be that kind of close, gritty style game that we saw the last one. However, I do believe your fatal flaw in this game, as I said earlier, is My defensive line for the Broncos has remained healthy and is playing well.
Yeah.
And your offensive line for the Raiders has had injuries since we last played you, which is going to likely be an advantage for us and is going to make the score a little bit
So
more in our
no
favor.
touchdowns for the Raiders. Oh, okay.
No,
I'm going to agree with that.
No, I don't.
12 points for the Raiders. So like,
Jack,
no
how
touchdowns.
did you do that math, but you couldn't figure out that 28 was only touchdowns? I don't understand, man. Sorry, I'm just joking. Come on, that was funny. But yes, you are right, and I did that intentionally. Like I actually do. I actually think that this is going to be a slew of Raiders field goals as opposed to touchdowns. And I think that is because the Broncos defense is going to be able to hold their own in this game. We have one of the best third down defenses in the league, and it's not close. We have one of, if not the best red zone defense in the league, and that's not really up for debate. And
No,
so
it's the
as
best.
But you guys are the most
It's the
penalized
second
defense.
best, second best red zone defense.
second best, yeah.
You're going to gift them a touchdown.
So I truly believe that all of that actually makes a difference, like in terms of how the defense is playing, not just how, but also where. So third down and red zone, I think, are huge stats for success of a team. That's great. I love it. Appreciate it, dude.
Hey, DZ, I'll refresh your memory.
Right.
I said 31-14 because I thought the Raiders might actually freaking score on defense. And
so you did predict that score right on the dot?
Yeah, I said I thought the Raiders might score one on defense for whatever reason.
They almost did. I mean, Herbert threw that pick.
And that Dicker, the kicker, is going to have to kick a couple.
Yeah. Our red zone offense has been pretty atrocious this year. I think.
I did tell you, I did say that, but I was actually joking. It wasn't like I was thinking. I just knew that Daniel Carlson's a fucking nutcase and can't fucking kick a football. So I pretty sure there wasn't going to be any freaking field goals. So I mean, literally brought in a freaking a kicker, Greg Joseph, that nobody's seen in like 5 years.
I remember Greg.
So it's kind of like, what the fuck? Rams, right? Greg Joseph, Rams. Wasn't he a Rams kicker?
For some reason, I keep thinking Jags.
Rams or Chargers.
No, he wasn't a Charger.
No, just the uniform. Like, the only reason it sticks to me is the color of the uniform.
When I think of the Rams, I think of Walmart. I can't get Walmart. I don't have that.
Yeah.
But I was like, yeah, 31-14, whatever.
He said, do not bring back, hopefully you're charged to never bring back, the hot dog, mustard colored, uniform.
That has to be retired this year. They cannot bring
that mustard shit was fucking terrible.
Tell me about
that was horrible.
That was out of here. We saw that preseason. And we're like, what the fuck?
They're like, oh, this would be a great idea. Said nobody.
I'm like, looks like they got peed on. I mean, it's like, come on.
Yeah, that
man.
So DZ, what's your score prediction?
You have like the best jerseys of like in the NFL besides the Raiders.
So I think the Raiders can do something funny here. They could win, but I think they're in full on tank mode the way they keep running it.
No winning. No.
Don't worry, Nav. Don't worry, Nav. I'm not going to give you hope. I think it's almost a similar score to the Chargers. I think I put it in the chat. I've got it 27-13. Like you guys said, you guys play each other a little differently. Broncos, Raiders played a little different style. And I think Brock's elite still, even though with that elite secondary that I think the Broncos have, and it looks like Surtain might be coming back as well.
He's already back.
Yeah, so I saw him ready to rock and roll this week. Something about Brock, man. That guy, it's all tight ends this year. Elite tight ends in the NFL. That slow release, it's almost like damn near nothing defenses can do about it, right? And like I said earlier about the Broncos, they are the top most penalized defense. So that's going to help the Raiders get into scoring opportunities, in my opinion. So I see a touchdown or two by the Raiders, but it's not going to be enough. That Broncos
Yeah.
defense is
Agreed.
gonna
Agreed.
eat alive.
I
Hey,
agree.
DZ,
Yeah, man.
that catch
Oh my
for
God.
Brock,
tell you,
that's not touchdown with one arm catch.
That's
Cam
not
Hart
the
was
first one like that.
Cam Hart was like,
Unbelievable.
he was like, "What? No, that didn't happen." He just took that up off the turf, man. It was great. I thought he
That
was
was
It
pulling
was
the
the
damn ball
importance of
away.
being on turf. He
I thought-
That's not
caught that shit. He's unbelievable. He's a
That's-
beast.
Jack, that is not the first catch like that dude's made. Dude,
Well, I know, but it's like
if you
it
put
was
that
unbelievable
ball
against the Chargers.
near him, he can catch it. You guys have to agree. Brock Bowers, by every stretch of imagination, he is the best tight end in the NFL.
Tyler Warren with the
Not
Colts.
not even the best tight end, but
And I'm gonna
Oh,
tell
best
they're
tight
two
end
different
probably
styles.
ever now.
I got
Hands
one
and
in
route
Mike
running
Ditka,
wise.
his records are gone.
Tyler Warren does great on seam routes.
yeah, well, because
Brock
he's
Bowers
just a different
catches
body style.
anything.
No, yeah, I agree. They're two different styles, right? They're just two different style tight
Agree.
ends, and I'm excited to watch them. I hate one's a damn Raider; it pisses me off. But, and I love to get my boy Gaston going because I think he's got the potential
and
to
that's
be
what
special as well.
And that's what pisses me off. The team we have, how much it sucks, the turmoil and all that shit. We have that dude. Brock Bowers is that dude.
Yeah,
He
And
is
he's
that dude.
And he's
dude.
on
And
a
I
team.
love Meyer or Mayer, however you want to say his name. I know
Mike
he wasn't-
Mayer.
I know
And
he
the thing
wasn't
is, Mayer.
available, but he's
Mike
a great
Mayer
second pairing.
And them
for
on
guy.
two sides, 12 personnel, it's freaking hard to freaking
Telling you,
deal.
man, get an average O line and a competent quarterback back there.
Just can't.
You know.
I can't even freaking. I'm done. I don't know.
Right?
It's like fuck. We
Now, if I get you, bro.
we got
So-
stuff. We just don't have all the stuff we need.
Yeah. You got the ingredients, but you're not putting them together, and so
We have no. We have the recipe, but we only have two or three ingredients.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah.
That's probably better. So,
Right.
DZ, I want to talk about your game.
Big game.
Now,
Big game.
this is a big game for the Chargers.
Oh,
I think
yeah.
this is kind of the, if you can do it, then I think this is kind of the defining moment for your team this season, if I'm going to be honest.
Yes,
That's
and no.
true.
Yes and no, and I'll get into that.
Yeah.
Because the Chargers from right after that Raiders game begin a gauntlet. Like it is I think it's the toughest remaining schedule in the league right now. It is Eagles Monday night.
I just want to interrupt and say, Zahn, that is the funniest shit I've seen in a long time in the comment right there. That's just funny. Brock Bowers lied on his registration for the NFL.
Oh,
Have you seen him with his hat off? Dude has a 50-year-old hairline.
Poor guy. I was glad that he
Zahn.
started shaving it. I was like,
I'm sorry,
Zahn,
DZ.
you
I had
fucking cracked
that
my ass
right
up,
there
bro.
got me. And
what's his name? Zonnie? Is it David?
No.
Zonnie?
David Zahn. David
And
And
Zahn.
David
he's a
Zahn, David Zahn is like he's a good guy, dude. I fucking love this man, dude.
he has a 50-year-old hairline. What the
David, we
fuck?
do this every week.
Hey,
Every Wednesday.
David Zahn, look at my hairline.
Seriously,
Yeah,
I got the
but you're a
same thing,
50-year-old,
man.
so that's normal.
I got the
Normal.
Brock special,
But
man. I
look.
just can't catch.
But not me. I'm a 50-year-old. Look at this. All this shit.
My genetics are trash.
What happened?
Hey,
All right, let's get back to the
good for
game.
you now.
sorry,
You got
DZ.
fucking good
My
hairline,
bad.
Eagles
motherfucker.
game.
My bad, brother.
Yeah.
Rod.
So
I'm sorry.
Eagles are coming off back-to-back losses. They had they got embarrassed by Chicago. Chicago has a really good run game. They're creative as hell. Chargers are not creative as hell. We have Greg Roman, he's archaic in his play calling. We've got a gauntlet, man. Eagles at Chiefs at Cowboys Texans at Broncos. Like, holy hell, this sucks. And now we have the one-arm bandit as quarterback. And
you're gonna beat the Eagles.
okay, now we're definitely
I firmly
losing.
believe that.
Now we're definitely losing. Shit. And then so we don't know if he's going to play. He hasn't practiced yet, but he's done this where he hasn't practiced all week, and then they're going to design some damn cast for him. It'll be like hard because they had to do a surgery on the outside up here. They put in a plate and a couple screws, and so he's probably got swelling right now. But the thing is, can the Eagles lose 3-0? It's like these teams never lose 3-0. So it's like, you know what I mean? I'm like, they're coming to LA. They're gonna have their fans out there. They're struggling. Look, they've only scored 25 points in the last 6 quarters.
Right.
So there is that.
They suck.
I just no Lane Johnson either. I think that's kind of hurt.
They suck, and there's no reason why they should suck. Is the problem? They suck in a way they shouldn't be sucking.
Now
you know what I mean?
Now look, if Omarion Hampton, fingers crossed, should be coming back this game, which would be a huge boost, which would be a huge boost for the running game. But he was second time in a non-contact jersey at practice, which I'm like, all the fans thought they held him out of the Raiders game to get him ready for the Eagles game, because the rumors were he was going to go and play against the Raiders. So they're like, no, he's not playing. So we're like, okay, he's playing against the Eagles. Well, he's still in a non-contact, but if he comes back,
fine.
Well, it'd be nice to have a 1-2 punch. You know, I mean, Jarrett Patterson did pretty well, but you guys got to understand, Patterson and Vidal are like 5'8" and 5'7". You know, Hampton, he's I think he's 6'1" or 240 pounds or whatever.
6'1", like 230, 240.
Yeah, so it'd be nice to get him back, especially with that D line that the Eagles have. But I've got the Eagles. The Eagles are favored by, I think the line dropped to 2.5. I don't know if it went back to 3. It keeps going up and down.
I'd take that all day.
Yeah, unfortunately, I've got the Eagles winning 20-17. I'll take
that all day.
I've got them taking it, and I just there's too many things. But look, there's on a plus side, Justin Herbert's 4-0 in primetime games. This is another primetime game. Can he make it 5-0? I don't know. There's just too much stuff. I don't know.
DZ, I got your back on this one, bro. I got your back. Quarterbacks, when they injure their offhand, they have to sit in a room and take snaps, not practicing, but in a room and take snaps to see what's comfortable for their offhand.
Yeah.
Right? So surely he's doing it. And I'm telling you what, Justin Herbert is probably one of the biggest badass freaking
He's tough. That's
quarterbacks in the league. He's a Josh Allen clone. Him and Josh Allen are kind of the same dude. You know what I mean? They're tough. He's not gonna miss this game.
I don't think he's gonna miss it either. But the thing is when you're playing, say, 99% of the time from shotgun, you really limit your offense and what you can do in your running game. And like I said earlier, we don't have a creative play caller. We've got a freaking idiot. Greg Roman.
But you have Justin Herbert, DZ. It's like, Herbert is like, the best quarterback in the AFC West. 100%.
Put that back up there. Put that back up there so everybody can see it.
He's a Canadian. They don't say that word in Canada.
You don't say that word in Canada.
Oh, that's funny.
That shit's funny, man. I'm sorry. But
Nav, did you bring all these people to our channel?
No.
That's so funny.
That's great.
Oh my God. I'm sorry.
And
My
And
bad.
Celios-
I haven't even smoked a joint or nothing. That
For,
shit was funny, though.
for the record, I'm the one that pulled that comment up.
For
in
the record,
first
Nab
place.
doesn't smoke that joints.
Yeah.
I didn't
And
smoke it
and the
before.
answer to the
That's
and the answer
Sacktown
to
Mike.
the and
Look
the
at
answer to the question is no.
No, we don't all say it.
We all say it.
No.
No,
Maybe these young kids, man, like
no.
they're all
no.
saying,
that,
yeah.
that one made me spit my beer out, Zon said.
I grew up in a time where you get your ass beat for saying it.
Yeah.
Dude, Zahn is the funniest dude ever. Dude, I love Zahn.
He's freaking hilarious.
So,
All right, do your score predictions. Come on, guys.
Sorry.
all right, score predictions.
Mine was.
I got you. Chargers.
Oh, crap.
Wait, who are the Chargers playing?
7. Chargers 27.
Monday night, Eagles.
Yep.
Oh, you're going to
Chargers
lose.
27. Eagles 20.
Okay.
So I'm not
27-20 Chargers.
Okay, so I'm not going to go into any details. I have 24-21 Chargers.
What? God damn it.
Wow. Dang.
I had a Bron.
Okay, I'm
no,
going to go opposite. I'm going to go opposite of you guys. I don't say the Chargers win this game. I got the Chargers 24-21. Eagles.
Yep. That's because you suck.
I'm sorry.
all right.
We got it.
Yeah.
What about the Texans Chiefs? Are we going to roll that one, Richie?
Here, man.
Yeah, I just want to quickly kind of discuss that one. This is going to be
Pivotal.
like this is the Mount Everest of the Chiefs season right now.
Yep.
Like it literally is like the peak for them.
Yeah.
Thanks, Mike. Appreciate it, my man. So this is the make or break for the Chiefs season. Like if we're gonna be honest, we just need to kind of say the thing and just be honest about it, right? Once the Chiefs lost to the Broncos, it put them immediately behind the 8 ball because they no longer had the divisional win against the Broncos. And then the Cowboys game really put them behind the 8 ball because of the loss to the Cowboys there. So now you got those kind of back-to-back pieces, and now they have absolutely no room for error. They must win out every single game of this season if they wish.
And look who they're going against. Probably the best. I mean, Richie's D-line's damn nasty. This is like 1A to that 1B. They are scary. The Houston Texans D-line is nasty. And look, I think the Chiefs are going to be without 3 starting offensive linemen in this game. The 1+ it is in Kansas City, so there's that going for them. It's going to be cold up there, and this is the Texans are a dome team going up there. But man, I just put it in the chat. I'm going to give my score real quick. I've got the Texans taking this 24-23.
Huh.
And I wish Davis Mills would start because I feel like the Texans are a better team when he starts over CJ Stroud. I don't like the way this Stroud-led Texans look this year, but he will be starting.
Go.
I think Chiefs are going to get fucking spanked.
Yes.
And the score is what it is, but the Texans are winning. I'm not even going to put a score up there. It's going to be...
Come on, Nab, put a score.
Probably like 23-17 or something like that. But, I mean, if you look at Texas stats and defensively, they're first in the NFL in total yards allowed per game, 264. Points allowed per game, 16.5. Total points allowed all year, 182. Pass yards allowed per game, 172, third in the NFL. Rushing yards allowed per game, 92.2, fourth in the NFL. 25 sacks, 10 picks, 53 passes defended, 3 forced fumbles, and 6 of those 8 were recovered by them. The Chiefs are fucked.
Nah, you didn't say a single word about, like, damn, that's fucking hot shit, dude.
Hot shit.
That was hot shit. Bro,
I'm just saying.
I know I love you, but shit not.
I'm just
Okay, so what do you think the score is going to be, Jack? Since Nevis
Oh my god, it's gonna be an ass kicking. I said for, like, a while, like, KC's gonna be, like, defending, like, their stature, but it's over. It's over, so it's done. So they're gonna get their asses kicked. I want to say, like, 27 to, like, 13. I don't even think KC's gonna do that well. I think
didn't I say
that
27?
defense is going to be that good against them, and it's going to be the first time Patrick Mahomes is going to be like, "Oh my god, my shit's getting my ass handed to myself." So that's the way I feel.
My ass getting my ass handed to myself. Is that what he just said?
He did. Nav,
Yeah,
California. Okay, so with regards to this game, I have this pretty straightforward. Look, I have relatives there. I say this to their face. So it's like, I have this as I actually think this is going to be a bit of a romping, in my opinion. I have it. I put it in the chat already in our private chat here. I think that the Patrick Mahomes is showing, actually, in my opinion, that he's getting uncomfortable in the pocket. He is not showing that he has the ability to step up. He's kind of getting rid of the ball. He's trying to do all these, like, crazy plays and that kind of stuff. The difference between this game and the Cowboys game and the stuff that we saw is that the Texans will bring him down before he can make the crazy throw.
They've got
And they also have the defensive backs to pick off those plays where he's, like, slightly overthrowing, slightly underthrowing, and that sort of thing. And that will not end well, in my opinion, for Mahomes. And by the way, we've seen this story play out before when he gets pressured and is kind of trying to chuck it away, where he ends up throwing 1, 2, or 3 picks in a game. Not regularly, but it happens from time to time. So I have this one as a bit of a blowout. I have this one as 31-21 Texans. So about 10-point game. And I think that this is going to be one of those. I think the Texans defense are going to allow the Texans to kind of get that extra bit of lead. And then I think that the score at the end, or the push to come back from the Chiefs, is going to be just a little bit too late.
Yeah.
Because I do think that there's going to be a garbage time touchdown or field goal by the Chiefs, which is going to look like they might be able
one thing that in this game, the way the Texans play will allow Mahomes to scramble like crazy. That's just the way they're set up. And so I can see a lot of Mahomes-ish scrambling kind of stuff, but I agree. Like, I don't see it as big as romping as you do, but they have on the edges, they're relentless and they've got the speed to get after them. Like, some teams have, like, really good pressure with their edges, but they just don't have that speed to get to him, where he's able to roll out and get to the sideline and do those kind of throws. They've got the speed to get to him, kind of like your team.
Yeah, they do. They do. So anyways, that's where I'm at with the games. I think we've all given our score predictions, and that brings us to the end of the show. We have some really interesting games throughout the division this coming week, and this could well be a celebratory moment for the AFC West teams that are on this show right now, because if what we predicted does happen, that would very nearly, if not definitely, knock the Chiefs out of the playoffs.
Fact.
Yeah.
I think
that.
PFF said if they lose this game, they have like a 13% chance of making the playoffs.
Yeah.
Dude, we all at AFC West show, we want KC out. Bye-bye.
Bye. FKC.
FKC.
So anyways, with that in mind, that's gonna kind of round out the show for today. We will be back next week with a recap of this past week with a little bit more detail, how we did, how we didn't do, all that kind of stuff. And we will give a brief look ahead to the week ahead and any other news, including injuries and other things over the course of the show. If you have any questions that we missed, go ahead and leave it down below, and we'll do our best to respond to you after the show. Our X handles for the majority of us here, except for the one guy at the bottom left, are down below. You can reach out to us, DM or message if you have any questions about our respective teams as well. Anyways, guys, thank you very much. Until next week, where the West Side's the best side. Peace!
Fast lane when I pass in the street, bag of money in the passenger seat. Tempo's been asking for me on the road from the west to the east. Way up, I might never come down, cause the coast's racking up the flight miles. So high, I might never come down, so what, this is my lifestyle. Wait a minute, work hard for the